Hello, sir. Good news. The surgery was a complete success and everything went amazing. We successfully did surgery on a grape. Hello, sir. Good news. The surgery was a complete success and everything went amazing. We successfully did surgery on a grape.
Hey, nice box. Expect the package around December 20th. So, somebody... Okay. Alright. Restart. Good news, everyone! I've developed a way for you all to send me packages! It's called a post office box.
Oh, Professor, you're so smart. Nothing like this has ever been invented in the history of the universe.
No, it's been invented before, you nincompoop. I just called it an OP box, not a PO box.
No, Farnsworth. I'm going to call it a PU box.
One strum.
Farnsworth.
Hi, today is your birthday. All right. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to... Come and say happy birthday, or... Oh, big whoop. Want to fight about it? They did surgery on a grape, you know. They did surgery on a grape. Hello, everyone. Great news. Just wanted to let you know. Happy birthday, man. Thanks for letting me know. Did you guys know that they did surgery on a grape? Did you see the epic SpaceX pictures from last night? You can bet your bottom dollar I did. Yeah, some of these shots, Joe, were just, oh, it ain't called the golden hour for no reason. That color gradient, dude. I was saying it as it launched. This is gonna produce some of the nicest launch pictures we've ever seen. Oh, dude, look at the color in this photo. Dude, you almost got a full color gradient right there. That's perfect. Oof. See? Look at the color gradient. You got yellows all the way out to blues down here. Oh, that's perfect. Look at all the different shades of blue. That's nice. That's Hello? I did not notice that one had the moon in it. You see that Rich has the F-350 running and driving, not shifting, though. I saw it, Arnak, yeah. Dude, the dead man switches when you open the door for the bags, that's... Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. See that little guy right there? See that little thing? Fellas? Take a look. Ready? See that little guy? That's the crush core. Oh, my head's in the way. See that little guy? That's the crush core right there. See how it looks slightly different than the telescoping part of the strut? That's the crush core. Linus, you wanted me to see this, and I said don't. Said don't because I have enough games to play. But you linked it anyway. You did the opposite of what I said. Why doesn't anybody listen to me? Anyway, what's up?
You know what they say.
Find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes, that is true.
Думаю, это мой случай.
I always admired aircraft.
Это чувство единения с твоей машиной.
The G overloads.
That moment you pass Mach 1.
А этот вид, когда наконец пробиваешься сквозь облака.
Who could dream of anything else?
You can try to break me. I cut my teeth on people like you. It's gonna take longer to take me down. I'm a step ahead, watch me wear
Tornado.
my crown.
Tornado in a MiG-29.
I took out the cake and count the dragons that I've slayed. You can give it all you got, cause love is running through my veins. So
Tax
this
suite?
line can't be tamed. There's fire in my blood.
Egg.
Burns
I know what that is. Recognize that shape anywhere. I hope that music wasn't DMCA. I just thought of that. F-16? Yeah, there's a lot of F-16 fanboys out there. The F-4 is better. It's not, but yeah. Anyway, it's not. It's not. The F-16 is better in every facet, maybe except for speed, and that's the one that matters. F4 is coming to DCS. Yep. Seems really cool, but isn't War Thunder a bad pay-to-win game? I don't know. Trailer seems cool, though, but guys, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I have too much on my plate. I think it's safe to say that I have way too much on my plate right now. Oh my goodness. Dude, the stuff that's going down, dude, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. And then this push that I'm trying to make with Kerbal, your boy is really busy. So I'm not sure that playing another game is a good idea. We'll just direct people to the Discord for now. I'm not exactly sure how I want to do it yet, but I did get a P.O. box, guys, so you can start sending stuff if you want. There's a Ford Ranger and an F-100 in the Discord car channel. I see a technical. This was the last thing that was linked in the Discord card channel. What's that on the back? That's freedom. Yeah. Why does this Ford Ranger have a minigun on the back? That will beat any Toyota Technical. I mean, yeah, yes it will. Ooh. Fancy. Ooh, so fancy. Oh, fancy. America? I mean, I need it for personal defense. I see nothing wrong with that statement, Veljex. I see nothing wrong there. Yeah, I mean, fellas, to be honest with you, if you have the right licenses, this is completely legal. You could drive this around. You're probably gonna need to put a barrel cap on the minigun and probably carry it around unloaded. But yeah, you could drive this around as long as you have the right license. Sure, absolutely. The F100 will probably make you salty. Is it the electric one? Like I don't hate what's going on there. That's not air suspension. It's a dual reservoir shock absorber. Yeah. Basically, it's you have a shock, right? And at the top, you have a pressed hydraulic fitting that goes to another reservoir. And long story short, when that shock goes, it moves the fluid into the reservoir, right? So it's basically a more hardcore shock absorber for off-roading. It's got an LS3 in it. I don't hate LS engines, dude. Like, I really don't. They're great motors, and they're based off of a 351 Cleveland anyway. Chevy copied it. It's okay. That's what Chevy does. At least he's got the right transmission behind it. No, I like this, dude. I would fanboy over this. That's really, really nice. Dude, yeah, I really like that. That's cool. I don't hate this. I don't care if it has an LS3 in it. That's really, really nice. I appreciate well done work, dude. I don't care who does it. I don't care what's in it. Oh, dude. King Ranch interior. Very, very tasty. Very tasty. I love it. They made the whole interior look like a saddle because that's a trim level for a newer Ford F-Series called a King Ranch. It's the highest level, like highest trim level for the truck that you can get, and King Ranch is supposed to look like a saddle. Guy put the saddle interior in. Oh, that's money, dude. Look at that. Aftermarket frame and Corvette suspension. I appreciate that. That's cool. Salavad, what's on the agenda today? We going to keep working with the Centaur and the arm? Something like that. Ooh, kept the factory logos on it. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's a cool truck. That's really cool. That makes me want to put the IRS in my truck. Or IFS and IRS. Let's just put all of that in there. Yeah, that's quite nice, dude. A very, very clean truck. And they look good in fleet white. They look good in that. I was thinking about painting mine that color. Like, I'm serious. Painting it fleet white. Fleet white is easy. It's an easy paint job to maintain. You don't need to worry about it. Really nice truck, dude. Really nice. If that truck looks familiar, the trucks in Fallout are kind of modeled from that era. When was the engine changed in the 59? My uncle did it, Joe. My uncle did it in the 90s. That truck's been in my family for a pretty long time. Since the late 80s, it's been in my family. Yeah, my uncle owned it, and then he sold it to me. He got it from he bought it from a farmer in Iowa in the late 80s. That was a farm truck. So I dig it, man. It's a farm truck, and it was, because it's from the Midwest, it was made in Texas. It's a Texas truck, dude. Yeah. Oh, I don't have OBS on the other computer yet. Fleet white is kind of Scotty, Fleet white is Fleet white is technically Chevy. That's a Chevy paint code. It's a Chevy RPO code for Fleet white. Ford calls it Oxford white. See, last question. And Hip told me to see his last as well. Well, let me see Hip first, Alucard. I've seen a few comments floating around the internet following the Deer Moon crew announcement that a lack of launch escape system will practically guarantee the crew is going to perish in another Challenger-style disaster. I don't know. Wow, okay, we're getting into the deep stuff. All right, Hip. I know it's not true, but can you articulate why not having a launch escape system on a human-rated rocket can still be safe? Okay, Joe, you'll DM it to me. Give me a second, Hip. Just came in your title. Did you just learn this? No, I've known it for some time. That's like your truck, only better. Thanks. Would expect nothing less from you. Salavod, what's on the agenda? So we gotta check and see if it's even possible to put that Centaur in there. But we should also work on the station components. I think the Centaur for deployment and everything is pretty good. I learned a lot yesterday from that test flight, which is really good. I sound like a NASA press conference now. Let me get settled here, guys, and then we'll go. Joe, let me see. Let me clear out the inbox. That's a fantastic hat, Joe. I like it. Very good. Very retro. Hare, there's a high-pitched humming in your signal. Is it possible to avoid it? It was never there, at least since I last watched your streams. It's probably just some equipment working, probably with fans, maybe even PC. I don't know, just informing. No, I hear it. I hear it. It's probably around 10,000 hertz. If I'm hearing that right. I can hear it. It's up there. It's the computers. Yeah, no, I can. It's the computer making that noise. Here, I'll drown it out with some music, dude. That's probably why. It's the fans. It's the fans, dudes. I gotta clean the computer out. I haven't cleaned it out since I moved. But you know what's awesome now? I have a I have my compressor right there, so we can blow out the computers, no problem. Yeah, that should drown out that noise. I'll just put this on the background here. Okay, so check out. That's very cool. All right, so I think I cleared out the inbox there. Garage warming gift sent. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So, let me load up KSP. Alucard and HIP are the questions that I need there. Sorry, got distracted by looking at trucks. Is that better here? Yeah, no. Dude, the second... I didn't notice it because I have headphones on. So I can't hear it. But when I took the headphones off, I definitely heard it. Do not use compressor unless you have a very good dryer on it. We do have a dryer, actually. I got one for painting. It's not hooked up yet, but we can do that. Before he gets more funnels. Dude, I have a box of funnels that I have no idea what to do with. Anyway. Alright, so. Alucard, you're asking about a rigid rotor, and HIP, you were asking about a launch escape system for Starship. So... Yeah, Aqualex, that's... So, HIP, that's the big one. Alright? Here. You want to see a nice plane? Take a look. Beautiful airplane, right? Last one. Stop FOD. It's a beautiful plane, right? The reason why it's that tinted green is for anti-corrosion on the aluminum. Does that have a launch escape system? Does that have parachutes, ejector seats, launch escape, anything like that? What happens if you have a double bird strike on takeoff? It's not going to end well. Okay, Alucard, I'll check into that. You jump out the window. It does have a toga switch. That's fair. Just fine, landed in the Hudson. Negative Teterboro. Take it down in the Hudson. So, yep. Okay. The shuttle and Starship represent a type of mentality. And fellas, you know, if you don't, this always gets kind of, people get a little bent out of shape about this, and that's fine. I understand why. The honest truth is that the shuttle and Starship represent a type of mentality where you want to treat spacecraft more like airline travel. And if we do, I mean, airliners don't have an escape system. There's no escape system. If you take off and you get a double bird strike, there ain't much you can do about it. You can glide back, I suppose. Which is why, personally, I think that the shuttle is a better idea for going to low Earth orbit, but Starship doesn't have wings like the shuttle does because it's not designed just to go to LEO like the shuttle was, right? So, Starship and the shuttle represent a type of, a paradigm shift in how we think about, or how we, well, the shuttle was supposed to do this, but never did, but they represent a paradigm shift in how we're trying to think about rockets. Instead of, you know, more conventional, you know, lower frequency of launches, we're trying to do higher frequency of launches. And if we're going to do higher frequency of launches, eventually it's going to get to the point where those components are going to be superfluous, just like an ejector seat on an airliner or parachutes on an airliner. That doesn't make any sense. That's just dead weight. Why is it dead weight? It's dead weight because we know the airliner is not going to fail. If it fails, physics has gone wrong. Why? Because it's well understood. The technology is matured. The technology is matured enough to where we really understand what's going on. I mean, sometimes you get curveballs, like with the 737 MAX, but who knew? You'd try to change the formula, stuff happens, right? And that's, I'm not trying to undermine the deaths of people, just like I'm not trying to undermine the deaths of, like, the people that died on the space shuttle, you know, the Challenger 7 and the Columbia 7. That's, you know, it isn't fair to them. But also at the same time, if we really want to do what the shuttle set out to do 40 years ago, if Starship really wants to do stuff like that, there's going to be a point where we have to rip the Band-Aid off and kind of basically just, I'm not going to say rip the Band-Aid off and like more people need to die. That's not what I'm trying to get at. I don't want anyone to get killed in space. That would be notoriously bad for us right now. Or ever, right? But we got to get to the point where we can get the technology well understood enough to where you won't need it. To basically get rocket engines reliable enough to work correctly. And there's only one company that I know that's mass producing rocket engines to get that thing to make this happen. That's why there's a Raptor firing off every day on the test stand at McGregor. Every freaking day. Every day. Without fail. Every day. Blowing up a lot of rocket engines. The technology needs to be well understood. You guys got to remember, it's not a mutually exclusive decision. You don't want to be like, oh, well, let's just launch it. You know, if people die, people die. That's what happens with airplanes, right? No, we don't need to do that. We have the technology on our side to not do that. We need to well understand it. And if we get to the point where we can mature a rocket engine like Raptor and get it to the point where it's as reliable as, say, let's just, because we were talking about 747s, let's say the JT9. The JT9D was the Raptor engine of its time. The JT9 was the first high bypass turbofan. Boeing invented a well, not Boeing, but what is it? Pratt & Whitney. Pratt & Whitney invented the high bypass turbofan for the 747. Every single airliner flying today uses high bypass turbofans. Every single one of them. That was a big deal at the time. And a lot of people thought it wasn't going to work. You know, rockets, we got to get, we need a DC-3. Actually, the shuttle is the DC-3. Starship is the 707, if we're really going to attribute it that way. We got to get it to the point where it's reliable enough where we won't need that. And that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. I mean, personally, this is my personal opinion, and I don't go spouting this around like it's something that, oh, we need to do it this way. It needs to be right. You know, if the people know the risks involved, that's their prerogative, man. That if they know the risks involved. If they know the risks involved, you know, whatever happens, happens, you know? As long as you're not As long as you're not selling people on a falsehood, I really don't care. But we're going to have to get to the point where rockets are, if we really want to get going and exploring the solar system like Expanse style, or we want to fly around the universe like Star Wars or something. I get it, Star Wars isn't sci-fi. Somebody always makes sure to mention that. If we really want to do stuff like that, we're going to need to get to the point where we need to mature that technology enough to get it reliable. I firmly believe that rocket engines can be matured enough to where you could have a rocket engine working in your garage like a car engine. Like, you could work on rocket engines like car engines. I firmly believe that. Why? Rocket engines have less moving parts. Quite literally, less moving parts. Now, don't get me wrong. Part movement is not akin to, like, technical difficulty, right? The pressures and the temperatures that a rocket engine has to deal with are way different than a car motor. You know what I mean? But we got to get to the point where, you know, we got to get to the point where you can fly Starship around like an airplane. It has to be that way. Like, do we want to, like, I'm pushing for SLS to launch 4 times a year. 4 times a year is barely sustainable enough to operate a lunar base continuously, even by NASA's own admission. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm greedy. If we can do that and Starship at the same time, you hedge your bets, right? Because if Starship doesn't work, then you still get, you know, an Apollo-style program, which is why I'm a fanboy of every rocket. I'm playing the long game here, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just, the technology needs to be matured. Yeah, the JT9D, yeah, it's just like Raptor, Joe. Boeing had to double down on it. They spent $2.2 billion in 1960s money. That's like a NASA Apollo budget money from a private corporation in the 60s to build the 747. And I think that investment paid off, right? You know? Rocket guy, extra hard for Starship 2 because there's no safety in the landing. At least with glide-capable vehicle, there's built-in safety into the capability. That's why I think the shuttle is a better design, Rocket guy. The shuttle's a better design because it's brought people into space and brought it back down. And until Starship does that, it won't be a better design in my mind because it's not proven. Everything else is just an opinion, and engineering without analysis is just an opinion. Akin's rules of spacecraft design, am I right? Yeah, Rocket. Yeah, exactly, Alucard. We got to get to that point. So, personally, I don't like the concern trolling thing. Like, it has no launch escape system. People are definitely going to die. I'm like, wow, that's a really, really, really great way of looking at that. Not. I don't like that, Hip. I don't like thinking like that. That's defensive thinking. Defensive thinking like that is how people get killed. That's how people die in space, ironically enough. You know, you have to be preemptive about this stuff, and you have to try to anticipate this kind of thing. And what SpaceX is trying to do is reduce complexity of design in lieu of a launch escape system or an ejector seat or anything, or anything else. They're trying to increase the safety of Starship by increasing the reliability of their engines. If the engines are well understood and they know what the engines are doing, they're less likely to fail. Simple as that. It's good that SpaceX has shown redundancy in landing. Really underrated accomplishment. Agreed. Has anyone died from decompression in space? Yes. Soyuz 11 decompressed during re-entry. Chuck. It was not good. It was not a good thing. Not pretty.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Yeah, it was not a good thing. So, Hip, hopefully that poor souls, 3 on board. Thank you for explaining. I really hate the concern trolling as well. I just needed you articulated so I can try to respond to these people intelligently. Hip, they don't... There seems to be some weird conflation in the spaceflight community that the company that I like is my favorite sporting team. And when it comes to your sporting teams, right, your hand egg team, your soccer or football team or whatever, your baseball team, your hockey team, and don't get me wrong, we joke about this all the time. You know, you like that, and it's your opinion that you like that because that's your team. Well, that crap doesn't happen in spaceflight, all right? It can't happen in spaceflight. Ironically, those people, that type of mentality, this us versus them, my company's the best, Blue is better than SpaceX, or SpaceX is better than everybody else, or NASA is better than everybody else. That sporting team mentality is literally AIDS for spaceflight. It is literally the cancer within. That is a terrible way of thinking about this. I'll just say that straight up. That fanboy nonsense, it's a terrible way of thinking. And dude, it's not even being like, oh my God, it's so toxic. That type of mentality, that mob mentality, you know, my sporting team is better than your sporting team garbage, it could lead to really terrible things. Why would you want this? Like, I've been trying to call this stuff out for years. And the thing at the end of the day is that, guess what, man? People got to come to terms with the fact that, guess what? Your opinion and your opinions about spaceflight, you know, your sporting team mentality about spaceflight literally means dick. It means dick. No one cares about your opinion. No one should care about my opinion about this. Because it means nothing. What can I do to change NASA? I can't do anything about that. I could teach people about NASA and get people hyped about it. Abso-freaking-lutely, and that's what I do. But at the end of the day, this us versus them, you know, divisive fanboyism nonsense is going to be the cancer that gets us from within. That's because, dude, what if enough people start saying that crap, and then politicians start hearing that from a strong vocal minority of people? Then they'll start acting accordingly. That's a terrible, terrible thing for spaceflight. It's a garbage way of thinking, and frankly, I don't like it. And I honestly, I don't even listen to people that spout that crap anymore. There was a time where I tried to prove it to people, tried to explain it to people. Someone comes in here and starts spouting that garbage, I'll try 2 or 3 times, and then I just don't care. I'll go back to talking to viewers that actually value my time and what I have to say. You know what I mean? Because these people aren't in there. They're not there to change anybody's minds. They're there to argue. It's a freaking plague, dude. I hate this stuff. Yeah, I know, Arcalex. It'd be kind of cool if we had something like that. What if my team really is better? Great. RPM is measured at the coils? I thought it was measured at the crank. Wait, what? Serious? It depends on the car, dude. You can pick up RPM from a bunch of different things. Some cars pick up RPM from the wheels. Like the wheels. Did you know they did helicopter on Mars? No way. The only comparison that should ever be made, which is also that Red Bull is better than Ferrari. That's debatable. But guys, like, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing, fellas. If you listen to these people and you engage with them and you keep talking with them and you keep spouting off, you keep trying to change their mind, guess what? Most of these guys are locked in their ways. They're not going to change. So you're wasting your breath. You're literally giving energy to people that are a vacuum of wasting your time. You know what I mean? Don't let it bother you. I don't let it bother me no more. Straight up. Let's not forget that Starship still has to be human rated before allowing people to fly on it. And believe me, those requirements and regulations are very stringent, and to my knowledge, they do not require a launch escape system. It's all about implemented design, what you intend on doing and proving that it works, Rocket Guy, because, right, engineering without numbers, who cares what you think? If you can't prove it with math, your opinion doesn't matter. That's kind of what I like about spaceflight so much. That's what I like. There's no room for people and their terrible takes on things. Your take don't mean nothing without numbers. It's great. It's really refreshing, man. I really like it. It's like a beacon of clarity in a sea of garbage. Grav, what were you saying? Last two, I agree, it's gotten bad lately. I've muted a ton of space journalists on Twitter because all they do is trash this or trash that. Well, Grav, I listen to them, dude, but I don't let them ruin my day. I don't let them ruin my day, fellas. That's a big one. Don't let it ruin your day. Just remember why you like spaceflight. I don't let it bother me no more. Dude, I said it on stream. Like, I don't even know when I did it. I got so bent out of shape from a press interview because the press questions were so bad. I literally let it ruin my day. And then I had a realization that I was being a dick. I was being a dick to viewers on stream. I was not having fun. The stream was tanking like crazy. And I was just like, dude, frick this, man. I'm not going to let these people bother me no more. And you know what? It's been great since. I just read, but I'm not going to not read what people have to say. I'll still read, sure. But I'll have the wherewithal to know, like, nope, that's probably wrong. You know?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I dropped a shot of my project truck in Discord, been meaning to show it to you. Where you at, dog? Ooh. 32 pickup? 33. Ah, you said it in there. Let me take a look. Holy shnikes, what is that under the hood? Oh! Whoa, yo, holy crap, Moto. What the frick, dude? Dude, you're gonna need a launch escape system for this truck. Whoa. Yo, that's a... Dude, you're gonna need a launch escape system for the truck, homie. Damn. 19-month resub, be more rocket. So yeah, dude, don't let it bother you. I'm gonna let people on the internet that you're never gonna meet bother you. You know what I'm saying? Dude, maybe it's like the perspective of like owning a house and stuff. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that crap, dude. Like arguing on the internet is something I did when I was like 18, 19. Heck, I did it for the longest time. I did it until basically like last year. I don't have time for this crap. Now think of that engine in your little Datsun.
Discovery, go at
Domina,
throttle up.
I think that engine would rip the Datsun in half. The truck is the launch escape system, straight up. But honestly, people asking stupid questions might not always know better. Exactly, Theix. That's the other thing, dude. There have been times where people have asked questions on the stream, and it was a genuine question, and I thought it was a gotcha question, and I treated newer viewers like crap. Can't do that. Can't do that. That's worse. See, that's what I mean about that behavior. That behavior is it's cancer that's wrecking the spaceflight community from within. It's no good. Everything has to be us versus them. F that. We don't need to do that with SpaceX. Not SpaceX. We don't need to do that with spaceflight. We don't need to do it with SpaceX either. You don't need to do that crap. You can like every rocket. It's fine. And if someone's gonna give you crap for that, don't listen to what they have to say. I'm on board for every rocket. I don't care who it is. I don't care who launches. There are some rockets I do have problems with, but I try to keep that on the down low. Every commercial company, like Firefly, ABL, Rocket Lab, I'm trying to rifle through the list, Relativity, and then you get into the bigger commercial guys, SpaceX, Blue Origin. I'm on board for every single one of them. I will cheer them on every step of the way. Because the truth of the matter is that if you don't have skin in the game, you should shut the frick up. You don't have skin in the game, shut up. I don't have skin in the game. I really don't. So I'm going to cheer everybody on because they're doing stuff that I wouldn't be able to dream of doing. I can do it in the video game. All right? So I'll cheer on everybody, man. Everyone. Everyone deserves it because there's so much time and effort that takes to make this stuff happen. You don't even know. Rockets make me yell, do you even lift? That's right. That's right. Dude, Gully, it's not even him. It's just, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Gump, yeah. See? I changed the hat. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. No shame. I like all rockets, baby. All rockets. I'm greedy. I'm the good. So like that's my character flaw. I'm greedy. I want every rocket. I don't want one rocket. I want all the rockets. You know. Yeah, Junie. Maybe we'll go back to doing it, dude. But I was talking about Soyuz historically on a stream the other day, and people started giving me crap about it, and I'm just like, all right. That's weird, Squish. I don't know what that means, but alright. That's what I'd do if I didn't have a rocket series. I would shut the frick up. Shut the frick up. Think I'm gonna let Twitter ruin my day? You might speak 16 languages, but you're gonna need it when you in Times Square selling fake hats. I know Cletus hat when I see it, man. I'm rich. What was the second starting question? So Alucard's question was building a fixed rotor. AH-56, huh? What are we talking about here? You want to... Oh, this thing. What's up, Rocket? What can you expect from fanboys? Did you know that Starliner lands in the desert rather than splashing down in the ocean? Watch as Starliner's parachute and airbag systems provide a soft ground landing. For crude flight, without sea state impact, passengers are able to step out of the spacecraft onto dry land. Oh, boy. Guys, the fact that they deleted that tweet and then reposted it the next day shows that guys, you're reading too much into it. It was an accident. If Boeing actually meant that, they would, like, meant it as a stick towards Dragon, they would have just kept the tweet up. The fact that they deleted it shows that's just a social media manager that's not paying attention to when SpaceX launches their rockets. Occam's razor, dudes. Come on. It is kind of funny, though. Oh boy, that's a terrible coincidence. But see, here's the other thing, fellas. Here's the other thing, and you know, like, Rocket, you made me think about this. This is, I guess, a poignant thought. You know, you see stuff like this, guys. Commercialization of space is gonna. I'm not. I'm not entirely sure that if we commercialize space more that we're not going to get that kind of stuff, dude. Ford and Chevy fans still give each other crap all the time, but see, here's the thing. With cars, Ford and Chevy guys know good and well that everything is fast. We just prefer our brands. Like, I don't hate Chevy. Like that, you know, Moto's LT4 in a 33 Ford pickup. That's cool. I dig it. That's really neat. I don't give a crap if it has a Chevy motor in it. At least it has a motor in it, man. That truck's almost 100 years old. It's fine with me. You know, like, I'm wondering, like, you know, if that's an inevitable thing. Is it inevitably going to happen? See, like I said, how it turned out with cars is that, you know, there's Ford guys, there's Chevy guys, there's import guys, there's domestic guys, you know, there's the Euro boys with their, you know, Volkswagens and Audis and stuff like, and Porsches and stuff like that. Like, and that's all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, every car person knows that cars are cool. We all like cars. That's why we're here. You know what I mean? The only people that go around, like, actually dissing on people that have a different car brand than them are, like, the people that actually, in the car world, those are the people that get their ass beat. Yeah. Because car people don't care. Different breed, those guys. Car people is not as civil. They ain't as civil as the spaceflight community is. Oh, boy. But I don't know, man. At the end of the day, you can go to a car show and appreciate everything. Like, I don't know. I'm wondering if it's inevitable. But also at the same time, you know, maybe it's a standard that we have to set. You know what I mean? You can like all rockets. It's totally okay. Rockets are sweet, dude. They're really freaking cool. Like, I'm a Boeing fanboy. I'll say it straight up. Do I really hate Airbus? No. Airbus makes good planes. Of course they make good planes. If they didn't make good planes, people wouldn't buy them. Hello? Yeah, Aqualex, for sure. Also, remember the helicopters being unloaded by tractors I talked about the other day? Here's the link with the video if you wanted to see it. I think it looks hilarious. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a Roro. Freaking Apache coming out of there. That's cool, man. I'm an Airbus fan. More easy to work with as a TRC. You like what you like, dude. You know? Like, the car community has managed to weed out the people that are fanboys like that somehow, because every car person knows that you're there because you like cars at the end of the day. You're there because you like cars. Frick those people. Like, seriously, the people that are actually like fierce brand loyalists get shunned hard in the car community. And maybe we need to set that standard with spaceflight, you know what I'm saying? You know, like, I don't know. Journey, the last 747 was finished. Has the last A380 been made and discontinued? The A380 stopped production in 2020. Yeah, dude, like, here's the thing. I'm a huge SpaceX fanboy. I love what they're doing. I love what SpaceX does. But here's the thing. I know good and well that a lot of people listen to what I have to say. And I will get further in my career if I'm impartial. Because once again, the way I see it is that engineering, dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think. It matters what goes on. I love the engine testing that SpaceX does. That's something that they got right. This should have been done during the shuttle program. There should have been a shuttle motor at Stennis on the A2 test stand every single freaking day, firing from 1972 to all the way up until the shuttle launched in 1981, and then every day after that. You want to fly a shuttle once every week, you should test your engines every week as well, right? That only makes sense. I think that right there is the single greatest reason why SpaceX is successful, because they bench test the trash out of everything. Everything gets broken. Everything. Test it until it freaking breaks. Figure out where its limits are. You know? I really, really appreciate that. But dude, that's not to say that NASA's analyze and then do a test flight, all-up test flight to figure it out. It's not a bad way of doing things either. You know? Long story short, I try not to let my biases come out too much. You know what I mean? But the truth of the matter is that I'm biased towards everything. I'm just greedy, man. I'm a glutton for rockets, man. I love them. I love them. Everything, all of it. I'll take all of it. I don't care. Yeah, Hokey, there you go. I give Ford guys crap all the time, but there's some Fords that have been made that... Yeah, exactly, Goalie. For sure, man. Right? So, bro, don't listen... Guys, at the end of the day, don't listen to the freaking fanboys. Frick the fanboys. Shun those people. Don't listen to what they have to say. Don't even give them a... Don't even listen to them. Like... Because you know what, man? These people are just looking for an argument. They're looking for attention. They're looking for attention. Dude, that's it. That's the thing. They're looking for freaking attention. Don't give them the attention. Just laugh at them and move on. Just laugh at them. I know in the back of your mind, it's like, oh, what if people start listening to them and they get a platform? Don't even think like that. That's a terrible way of thinking. Just, all right, sure. Because you know what the truth is? Everyone in the aerospace industry, dude, knows each other. They all know each other. Seriously, Blue Origin engineers hang out with SpaceX engineers all the time. Oh yeah, everyone knows each other. There's no team rivalry nonsense that's happening in the actual industry. And I know plenty of people that work there. They don't care. They don't give a frick where you work. You know? We ask him politely but firmly to leave. Just remember that. Next time you see somebody... Franco, that's a good way to say it. Next time you see somebody going off and you're just like, wow, that's stupid. Just think of Hank Hill. What if they like their steak well done? That person probably likes their steak well done. We ask him politely but firmly to leave. That's very cool insight. Thanks for that. No problem, Kisu. All good. Yeah. I know plenty of people that work in the industry, man. No one does that. No one does that. Everybody's hyped for everybody else, because everybody that works on these things knows how hard it is to freaking work on them. You know? I don't know. It's very rare that you get like that kind of fanboyism. But I don't know. See, like, here's the thing. My head's constantly just on Twitter all the freaking time, dude. With Twitter, you can say stuff without... You could say stuff without really much repercussion, you know what I mean? And even if somebody disagrees with you, you're never going to see that again. So, you know, thought flows a lot more. There's a lot more free-flowing thought on Twitter, you know? So, long story short, the internet ain't real life, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, Matt, for sure. Absolutely. So, just make sure you don't let the internet curtail your expectations for how real life works. Real life is totally different, man. It's totally different. Yeah, Juicebot, it's free-flowing thought. You know, like, guys, half the comments, you got a thing to remember is that like, half the comments on Twitter, on social media, on Facebook, whatever, they're shower thoughts. They're shower thoughts. You know? They're shower thoughts, dude. If you see like a weird looking car going down the road, if you see a weird looking car, like you're driving down the street, say you see like a Fiat Multipla or something, you're like, what the heck? That car is stupid looking, right? You say that in your car, and if you're riding with a passenger, they don't pay any mind to it. It's just, I'm sure it's fine. It looks ridiculous, right? But I'm sure it works. You know, like Fiat Multipla is like one of the most ugly cars ever designed, right? It looks like they took 3 or 4 cars and just kind of... Right? Seriously, look at this thing. I mean, look at this thing. What is... Right? Like, if you say that when you're going down the street... Oh, nice, goalie. Nice antenna. You see that, you're driving in, you're walking down the street, you see that thing drive by, you're going to be like, wow, that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen, right? But think about it like this. You go and post that on Twitter. You say, oh, the Fiat Multipla is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. The context of that shower thought changes on the internet. People think you're making a statement. It's not, oh, driving down the street, wow, that car is ugly, jeez. It's... The Fiat Multipla is the ugliest car I've ever seen. You can't change my mind. That's how that reads on Twitter. It's totally different. See what I mean? Make sure you're not arguing with people that are just having shower thoughts about things. Because, guys, not everything needs to be debate class, for frick's sake. You know? People have shower thoughts, man. Dude, myself, like, I see stuff and I'm like, wait, what? That's dumb. And then I go and read about it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually cool. I made this mistake with the V280 the other day. I'm like, I think the SB1 is superior to the V280 in every way, shape, and form. The V280 is stupid. It's too complicated. And then I saw its numbers and I'm like, oh, that's why they chose that. Because it can literally fly. Its range, its ferry range is like as much as a 737. And it can hover like a helicopter. It's quite literally the capability that we have with the K92 in Kerbal. It's really, really good. So, I didn't know that. You know, I just made a shower thought about it. I'm like, nah, that's dumb. And then I tried to prove it off that shower thought. I was completely wrong. I see why they chose it. It makes perfect sense to me. You know, that's what I mean. Make sure you're not arguing with somebody that's having a shower thought. Like, It just could be something that somebody says in passing. And that's being able to judge content and character and stuff. That's really... That's where you got to do the real life thing. You got to learn how to talk to people, and you got to understand when somebody's kidding, when somebody's screwing with you, when somebody's just making a passing comment. I didn't mean anything by it. You know what I mean? Yeah, Sneaky. That's what I mean. Everybody judges. We're humans. We ain't perfect. Everyone's gonna judge everybody. Don't let that stuff bother you. It's not worth. It's a waste of time. Anyway. Sorry, guys. That's just something that I'm really, really trying to learn. I'm really trying to get better at. Because, yeah, that one time where they were asking questions. It was after the wet dress rehearsal. It was the bucket press conference, and I'm just like, I was like, dude, I can't let this ruin my day. I'm not gonna let this ruin my day no more. I'm sick of this. Anyway, fellas, I don't mean to get on a soapbox. Just, I only bring this stuff up because, you know, it comes up in chat. You know, like, sorry, we're getting too real. Let's get back to it. Alucard, what do you got for me? Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Exactly, Lunprod. There you go. Soapbox rocket, you say? Yeah, a little bit. Alright, so you're looking to make... Alucard, you want to make one of these in Kerbal, huh? So, I'll be honest, I've never actually gone and read how this thing works. Is it something like the SB1? It's a compound helicopter, which combines helicopter with fixed-wing features for increased performance, usually speed. The design includes features such as a rigid main rotor, lower-mounted wings, and a pusher propeller. The Cheyenne was powered by a T-64. Thrust was provided by a pusher propeller at the rear of the aircraft. At high speeds, the amount of lift provided by the wings, along with the thrust from the pusher prop, reduced aerodynamic loads on the rotor. At such speeds, the rotor produced 20% of the lift, which could be adjusted by collective pitch control changes. Rotor tilt was controlled through gyroscopic precession. Okay. Cheyenne achieved speeds over 200 knots, but as a compound helicopter was unable to qualify for speed records in helicopter categories. I'm not sure, S. I think that has a swash plate. Oh no, it's gyro stabilized. It has a collective, but it's gyro stabilized, dude. See the counterweights up at the top? Okay, I get it. So what that does, fellas, is basically makes it so the helicopter will naturally just level off. So if you use for instance, if you use the propeller to go forward, right? You could use that propeller back there to go forward and backwards, right? And then you use the other propeller that's next to it for yaw. So you could use that for pitch and yaw, and then, I mean, I don't know. This must have a cyclic on it or something. It's exactly the same mechanism as cheap RC helicopters. Bingo. That's exactly how it works. Yeah. It looks like it still has collective, but I don't think that has a cyclic on it. Rigid rotors means the blades can't lead or lag. In all KSP rotor systems are rigid. Oh, okay. So there's no drag link on this, Lewis, right? Is that what that means? I think. Yeah, see that? The wing? Take the load off the rotor at high speed? Yeah, that's dude, that... When was this? When did this idea come around? 1967? Yeah, the Hind does that. The Hind does that, so it can go faster. Why not just have a tail rotor that has gimbal? Because if your tail rotor has cyclic and a collective pitch on it, J-Speed, you don't need to do that. Hinds are cool, man. I like Hinds. They're a really cool looking helicopter. Yeah, Hinds are not nearly as friendly as other helicopters. So, okay, that's interesting. What's a Russian gunship doing here? I knew someone was going to say it. I'm still not 100% sure how this works. I'll be honest with you, fellas. How jealous are you of Tim? I'm not jealous at all, Hypersonic. I'm super happy for him. He's worked for it, man. He worked hard. No one works harder than that dude, man. Maybe except for Das. Das works hard. He does. It's a lot of work maintaining all those streams, especially when they're not near each other. But Tim deserves it. He worked hard. He puts foot to tail for space content, man. I'm super happy for him. Like, dude, I'm not jelly at all. Seriously. I'm super proud of him. That's, like, me being proud of him doesn't mean crap. That doesn't mean anything. Like, I'm freaking super happy. Dude, that's awesome. I'm so pumped that someone from the spaceflight community is going to actually fly in space. That's really freaking cool. Would I go with him, Hypersonic? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'd go. Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm in. But, you know, he's a great ambassador for spaceflight, dude. That's it. You got to start working hard if you need a VFT from space. I am. Trust me. I got stuff. Got irons in the fire, dudes. Trust me on this one. I'm not jealous. Maybe a little envious, but that's, dude. I'm envious of anyone that gets to launch into space. You know what I mean? Like, I'm super happy for him, man. That's so freaking cool. Like, dude, I don't know how he pulled that, dude, but that's awesome. I'm so pumped that there's somebody that's in this industry that has that kind of leverage and swing. You know what I mean? Like, you actually pulled that off. Good for you. I don't know, Blue. Depends on the context. How many flights landings do you think they'll do before that mission? Rocket Guy said it a little while ago, Shrub. Human rating Starship is going to take a long time. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. I'm not going to be one of those guys. They said next year. If it is going to be next year, it's going to be late next year. I mean, it's what I've been saying for a little while, guys. SpaceX is going to run into the problems that you get when you try to make super heavy launch vehicles. It gets really difficult. His first video on YouTube was in the same day Dear Moon was first announced. Really? Canada, 13-month resub. Oh yeah, Wintergarten. Yeah, I'm in those videos, which is weird, but alright. Alright, Alucard, let me take a look at this. My brain isn't understanding how that AH-56 works. What spices do I put in tomato sauce? Oregano. Primo, I'll default to my dad on that one. You should probably ask him. Figure 1.1 shows historical main hub drag values for various helicopters versus helicopter gross weight. The slanted lines represent constant values of the empirical factor KHUB, with the best hubs on record falling near KHUB 0.5's line. So here, F of E is the hub plate equivalent drag in square feet, and GW is the gross weight of the helicopter in pounds. Thus, K sub H sub hub, sub hub, nice, is representative of classical square cube relationship of area to weight, where lower K hub equates to lower hub drag for a given gross weight. Currently, high efficiency and high speed compound designs have assumed future technology will lead to K hub of 0.35, which represents a significant improvement over state of the art. This justification for these low drag assumptions has been the AH-56 Cheyenne's novel door hinge hub, comprised of a main hub assembly and a mechanical control gyro on top. All the conventional parts of the Cheyenne hub, mast, fixed hub, movable hub, and tension torsion pack, present a low frontal area when compared to a conventional rotor hub, and represent a probable lower bound hub drag following a conventional hub design. All drag data for the Cheyenne hub is combined hub and gyro configuration as shown in figure 1.1, just falling below the K-hub 1.20 line. It is reasonable to assume that in a modern version of the Cheyenne style hub, the feedback and stability control functions of the gyro could be replaced by modern rotor control schemes, leaving just the low frontal area components, in a compelling design for a low hub drag system. This concept of a low drag Cheyenne-like hub is a major enabler of current high-efficiency compound designs, and is thus critical that these assumptions will be confirmed with experimental data. Okay. Everybody got that? Oh, look at this. Whoa. How the frick does this work? So, the pitch control. Okay, it's a gyro stabilized cyclic. I see what's going on here. The gyroscope controls the angle of attack, or the angle of incidence on the blade, so it's gyro stabilized. Before that, he was just a KSP streamer. I don't... Lumprod, why don't I remember Tim streaming KSP? He streamed on Twitch, didn't he? Somebody was saying that yesterday. I'm like, I don't remember him streaming on Twitch too much. Why was I... Like, how long did he do that? His channel's Everyday Astronaut. He's posted in chat before, but I haven't seen him in here in years. I don't, like, really remember him being a regular KSP streamer. He streamed on YouTube. No, somebody was saying, oh yeah, he was a Twitch streamer just like you. I'm like, what? When? I don't remember this. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. It's just maybe what more likely was going on is that I was too involved with whatever project I was working on in Kerbal to really notice. That's very strange how that all works, man. I'm not sure you could replicate this in Kerbal, but... It's gyro. Okay, so it's a gyro stabilized thing, but this thing should still have a cyclic if I'm looking at this right. hang on. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm too far in. I don't know what any of this means. I scrolled down too much. I'm looking for a specific thing here, fellas. Okay, so fellas, how this works is that you have a weight on the end of this spinning mechanism. And these weights right here, these 4 weights make a gyro, okay? It makes a gyro. And those are attached to a link right here that's attached to the pitch. So that controls, that's your cyclic. That's your cyclic control. That'll basically keep the helicopter straight up. But the shape, oh, yeah. Grow up. So that'll basically keep... So, like, if the helicopter starts veering to one side, the gyro will go against it, and it'll activate a cyclic. It'll basically cycle the rotor, and it'll stabilize it. That's what that does. The idea behind this is that you get a blade with where you don't need a swash plate. So you get a blade that's a lot simpler, and a blade that is a lot... and that's what the first part said. You get a blade that's a lot lower profile. Your K sub HUB. So that's basically your coefficient of drag on this thing. The thing is that the rotor is spinning, so finding coefficient of drag on something like this that is a dynamic thing, something that's spinning, is a little bit difficult. That's why you have that weird equation up at the top. But see how low profile that blade is? There's nothing there. But see, here's where I'm getting confused. How do you, like, can the Cheyenne take off like a helicopter? It can take off like a helicopter, and I can see that they said it has a cyclic in it, or not a cyclic. They said it has a collective in it. There's a collective in this design, right? But so it can take off. I can see it take off, and I can see it moving around. But can it do this? How would it do that? Because there's no cyclic. Your cyclic is gyro stabilized, so you can't really do this with it. It can't strafe left and right, if I'm looking at that correctly. It can yaw, and you can pitch with the rear propeller blade, right? With the backward-facing propeller, you could pitch and go forward and back. So you could pitch, you can yaw, but the thing, how does it roll? You can't roll. Unless I'm completely missing it. Yeah, that helicopter has no roll. There's no roll control because your cyclic is gyroscopically stabilized. So that helicopter literally can't do this. You ever notice with the RC helicopters, they just go around like this? They fly around like this. Like an airplane. So I'll bet you that that's the reason why the AH-56 never ever became a thing. Because you go to take off and you have to go into plane mode if you want to roll. Because the air surfaces, you need an aileron to move. Because your cyclic is gyroscopically stabilized. Now, once again, the reason why they did gyroscopic stabilization in the cyclic control was to simplify the rotor hub design. Simplify the rotor hub design so it doesn't make as much drag. So the helicopter can go faster. But once again, you run into problems here. This is why this gets into some complicated math, dudes. The reason why it gets into some complicated math is because trying to figure out how much drag this thing makes is really difficult. It's really difficult because it's spinning. How are you going to use math to try and calculate how much drag this thing is going to make? It's a spinning component. It's not a wing surface, right? Everything is constantly changing, so you have to use some pretty hard calc to figure out why this thing is doing what it does. See, you have like blade azimuth and stuff right there. That's, you know, so that's a hard thing to, that's some really tough math to figure out. And that's what this PDF kind of goes through. Now, Alucard, could you make this in KSP? Maybe? Everything would have to be Kraken tech. You wouldn't be able to use the helicopter blades that are in the game. I mean, you could, but they'd have to be attached via robotics or something. Yeah, see, what... Yeah, okay. See, they're getting different degrees of rotation, and they're figuring out the numbers for different points in the blade. And then I'm guessing they average that together to get you your full kind of picture. But see, even then, that's just with a single airspeed. Your airspeed could be different. It's going to create different drag at different airspeeds, just like a wing does. This is some really hardcore math to get into, man. Yeah, see? Here's your tables. And there's the different degrees. There's your blade azimuth right there. See? That's hard. This is tough. That's tough math, dude. I don't think that's doable. I mean, let me put it to you like this. You could make it. I've seen guys make swash plates. There's a viewer that watches the stream sometime. His name's Raid. Raid made a swash plate with Kraken tech, and it works. So it's doable. Anything is doable if you really know what you're doing. But Alucard, I'm not sure. I don't know really what your build skill level is in KSP. I'm not sure if you're capable of making something like that. That would be hard for me to make, dude. Anyway, all right. What we were working with yesterday is our Centaur stage, and we figured out that the Centaur integration system for the shuttle was really not designed to reintegrate a Centaur in space. Bet I could bust one out in a few hours. Yeah, is it at all possible that your skill level might be different than Alucard's? So we were messing with Centaur G, guys. I noticed that there were some nasty control problems with this thing. Yeah, the RCS was terrible. The RCS control was terrible. I thought 45-degree offsetting the Centaur was a good idea. Offsetting the RCS was a good idea. That made this thing notoriously hard to control. So that was a bad idea. We probably shouldn't do that. Also, the grapple manipulator was tough too. Like trying to park this thing back on its dispenser is very, very difficult. That's really hard to do. I tried to make an AI-generated space shuttle with a noodle wacky arm as a meme for last night's stream, but the AI bot failed you. I don't understand what that means, but okay. I laughed so much yesterday. A great moment of streaming for me. I'm glad you like it, Razmio. Yeah. Trying to get that thing docked back in there was so damn difficult, man. The stage has to be perfectly oriented to slip back into its attachment points. It's really difficult. But the good thing is that the stage did perform fine. It performed great. Croatia beat Brazil. No way. Really? Wow. That's embarrassing. Well, not really. Croatia's a good team, but yeah. Oops. In penalty kicks. Yikes. Where is the grape? Is it alright? Is it safe? The grape didn't make it. They did surgery on it, but it didn't make it. Are the cargo doors on the space shuttle airtight? No. Oh, hey, Bree.
Lunch.
What did you make?
Tortellini and meat sauce with garlic bread.
Can you repeat that one more time for the class?
Tortellini and meat sauce and garlic bread. And I used the sauce your folks gave us from your sister's garden.
I love you.
I love you too. Enjoy.
I will. Jeez, man. Thank you. You don't need to shut the door.
Alright.
The outside door, please shut that one, though. I love you. I don't know how I got so lucky. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened, Chad. Your boy lucked out. All right. I finally made a carbonara with the proper meat. It was absolutely fantastic. Good man. I forgot to say thanks. Hey, no problem, dude. So, Paul, the cargo doors on the shuttle are not airtight. Believe it or not, the shuttle payload bay has holes in it. Yeah, you actually don't want pressure in there. There is vents, actually, on the side of the shuttle. That's what those holes are right there. They're vents, because the payload bay is not pressurized. Trying to pressurize something this big with the cargo bay doors is a bad idea. That's not a good idea. Agreed, Hellfish, yeah. Alright, you guys talk about the damn garlic bread. Give me the damn garlic bread. Bro, she melted cheese onto it. How did I do this? Crazy. Crazy. Make sure you chew into the mic so we all get hungry. Nah. Nah, I'm not doing that. Eat it while it's hot? Is it still warm? If so, eat that now? Well, Wheat redeemed garage stretch breaks, so... He redeemed garage stretch break, so let's do that. Give me 1 second. So, do you have me, you have signal here, chat? I gotta actually change the title on the stream. It's still set to dated surgery on a grave. Is that a snowblower? No. That's a lawnmower.